Hello, once again, we are live to the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by the lovely Spencer. Spencer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, Sisma. Thank you. How are you doing today?
Very well, very well. And I'm very excited to hear a little bit about your story because, you come from the, an athletics background. You're obviously a man as well. I mean, I know I say that, but here's the thing. There's mainly women that seem to come on the show. So it's a very rare thing when we have a gentleman on here. So I'm very excited to hear why you wanted to go to Empower Thyself. What made you want to go?
Well, I mean, honestly, I was after playing sports for my whole life. I had community, I had purpose, I had, something that was fulfilling me. And when I grew out of that and started seeking career, I didn't have that anymore. So was like desperately trying to find it, and initially I had, was seeking it through other means until I found spirituality where, it's like, what is this? How do I tangibly use this and apply it to my life? And to be honest, I had no idea. I researched and practiced, and I just couldn't find the essence of what I was seeking. And it wasn't until that my aunt had mentioned going to a meditation class, and at the time, my current guide was doing monthly meditations, and I remember going to it, and a few times I was like, there's something here. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I could sense there was something there. And through doing a life activation and the months following, she mentioned Empower Thyself, and at the time I had no idea what it was, but I knew there was something there. I could sense it. But as a man, I needed to tangibly feel what that was. Like, what is this? I'm going to explore this because it's obviously something. And I went, and it was, to be honest, what I felt was relief. I remember walking in the door before, the class even commenced, and I just felt this overwhelming sense of relief that whatever I was seeking, I think I found it. And the week following the end of the weekend, I everything changed. Life changed, my perspective. What I felt in my soul was fulfillment, the same fulfillment I'd been seeking all the years following sports. And it shaped my life, through much resistance, I know. But it's magical. And as a man, it's the tangibility was real. Like, I could follow this and I can see the results. I could see the fruits. And I haven't looked back because it's changed my life immensely.
That's so inspiring, and I'm so glad you're pointing this out because I know there's a lot of gentlemen out there. They'll be in the same, the same kind of spot. I'm sure that a lot of women are into sports as well, but gentlemen are often, out there searching and may not even think that this could be a possibility. So this is really amazing that, you're sharing. So it just gives others an opportunity to give it a try if, it might be something that they are looking for too.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's a good point.
And also what I love about it is there isn't, a lot of sports people now are doing meditation and such like to sharpen their minds. And
Mhm.
I always like reading about Andy Murray doing meditation. And so I'm like, yes, come on, because I love the tennis. But it's so true. I mean, it's just such a win-win thing to do. And it's such a great idea to start off with the meditation and see how you go, see how you feel. I really agree with you on that. So then obviously, okay, so you're having a great time. You've found Empower Thyself. You're having a great time. You love the tools, the practical application, all great. But then what made you want to become a guide? Because becoming a guide is a huge step. It's a big responsibility, and it takes a lot of dedication and training. So tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, it's a good question. And to be honest, for me, it's not just one particular reason, but one that I always come back to is just the immense gratitude that I have, not just for my guide, especially my guide, but for all the teachers and the people holding that space and pouring love and energy. Being that hope for me. They poured all this into me on this path, and having the pleasure of working alongside my guide, I started to feel like, how do you truly repay this, right? How do you repay something like this? And I couldn't think of a better way to say thank you, but than to be that exact thing for others on this path. And not only that, but when you have this immense light, right? You want to share this, right? Where do you pour that energy into, right? It's overflowing, and it's like, where do I tangibly bring a container in so that I can do this for others properly? And desiring to be a guide, if that's was of the highest service for me and for everyone around me, then I must do it, right? And it's an honor to do so, and I'm very, very grateful for it.
Yeah, we're very lucky we get to do this, aren't we? We're so
Yeah.
lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I can completely relate to that. It's like once you find it, it's like, okay, I have to share it with everybody else. That's the magic of it. So tell us a little bit about who you think Empower Thyself would suit. Is it for just spiritual people? What's been your experience around that?
That's an excellent question. My experience, I personally, not just my own personal thoughts around it, but an experience with working with everybody. It is for everybody. Everybody, no matter where you are in life, no matter how good you have it or whatever you're trying to seek, to change, to experience, it's Empower Thyself will support you with everything you're doing. It's not just, I always have this conversation with people that I work with, and it's like not necessarily trading one thing for the other. You're bringing something new and expand it into your life, and that's going to flourish in everything you're doing, regardless of what you're doing. But it's going to work with everybody differently, but it is for everybody. That's the purpose of it. And I see that, and I hope others get the opportunity to see so as well.
Good, yeah, it's so true. And I know we're coming to the end now, but I know you mentioned just a little bit having your resistances just, along the path. So, some people might think it's easy, this looking inward and going on on a journey to know thyself, and so what would you say to anybody who's feeling a little bit of resistance to perhaps taking that next step?
The best piece of advice is to lean into it. It's usually from my own personal experience, anytime I was about to make a breakthrough or a shift, total resistance came up. And when you're able to push through it, not always easily, on the other side is what the internal seeking, the feeling that you're seeking and the change you're seeking is on the other side of that. All the time. Almost every single time that it comes up, it happens all the time. And just by following that, that's something my guide passed along down for me, and it's stuck with me ever since I took Empower Thyself. Lean into the resistance, and you'll find what you're seeking.
Wise words, very wise words. So I think everybody's going to be very inspired. Tell us a little bit, where are you based in case people want to get in touch with you?
Yes, I'm based in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. It is southwestern Ontario, and it's actually about 2 hours west of Modern Mystery School headquarters. So I'm very fortunate.
Amazing. So if you are in that area and you want to have a little chat with Spencer, get in touch with him, and he'll be able to explain a little bit more about the path and such like. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you for sharing your story. I know
Thank
it's
you for having me.
many. And thank you everybody for joining us, and we will see you all again soon.